LPT Realty, lessons learned year one, not just as an agent perspective, but also as a team lead. In this video, we're going to go over our last year and to see what it was like the first year here in Florida. If that's what you're looking for, stick around. What's up, everybody? This is Tim Whittemore with the Whittemore Group here with LPT Realty here in the Panhandle of Florida. We're coming at you with some great information of what it's like to be here at our brokerage at LPT. And we also give out videos for our brand new agents, our seasoned agents, and those people just trying to grow their career. They say that you're the sum of the top 3 voices that you listen to. Let me be one of those voices to help excel your career and your business. All right, so let's move into this. We're talking about lessons learned from being with LPT for our first year. So let's kind of back up a little bit. When we look at our business started at a brick and mortar from a Realogy brokerage. We moved into EXP, which was a cloud-based brokerage, and we rolled into COVID, which kind of changed the entire thing. We were already in a cloud-based brokerage, but we really started kind of leaning on that. And then sure enough, just about a year ago at Inman in Las Vegas, we got the opportunity to be one of the founders here in Florida of one of the teams to bring teams over to be part of LPT Realty. And it's actually been pretty cool. So what is LPT about? If you haven't watched all these other videos yet, here's a quick recap. LPT Realty stands for Listing Power Tools. Strangely enough, I'll get into that. But there's very little fees when it comes to this. A lot of these junk fees are gone, which is amazing. Actually, there's a story with that with Robert Palmer and his mortgage company. But again, we'll save that for another time. But it got away a lot of those fees. So there's no sign-up fee. Awesome, right? There's no monthly fee either, right? So you don't have to pay for desk fees online, which I thought was kind of crazy. You do not have to pay for any annual fee until your first transaction, which is $500, right? You do have a per transaction fee, which is $195. And depending upon your state and what sort of loan product or whatever, you can usually get the buyer or seller to pay for that. So you really don't have to pay for it. You just got to be a really good realtor or negotiator, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, going back into it, now there are 2 tracks versus the normal standard where you can either do Rev Share or you're at 100%. It's kind of the same thing, right? So they do both, which is crazy. So they have this thing called Business Builder, and you also have this thing called Rev Share Partner. So Business Builder is $500 per file. You pay up to 10 deals per your calendar year. If you exceed that, then you're 100% capped for the rest of your anniversary year. Awesome, right? If you are on the Rev Share, it's an 80-20 split until you pay the brokerage $15,000, and then you are 100% capped for the rest of the year as well. What are the differences between the two? Well, we have revenue share and we also have stock. If you are a business builder, you still can recruit people on, and they'll still go under you, but you're never going to get paid on that until you go to a Rev Share partner. If you are doing that, you'll still get stock, but you won't get as much stock as being a Rev Share partner. So what do we get as a Rev Share partner? For stock, it's 1.4%, or at least at the time of this video, 1.4% multiplied from whatever that the business builder is getting. And then you also have the full up Rev Share, where you'll be able to collect on, it's like 50% of whatever that the people below you are doing up until they're capped. I'm not going to go into Rev Share in this video. There's a lot to it. Just know it's one of the more profitable Rev Shares that you're going to find out there with the least amount of people under you in order to get that residual income. Although it's been really great, especially as a team lead, because we're still recruiting, always recruiting as always. So that's an extra little stipend that we get each month as our agents continue to grow. It's awesome. So those are the basics of what we have for LPT. Some of the initial challenges when we first got on here, so let's talk a little about a little story time for us. Again, we were at Inman in Las Vegas last year, and another team lead came out to me and said, hey, there's this great brokerage that we're coming up in Florida. We're thinking about making the jump. If you do so in the next X amount of days, you're going to be part of the founders with some great benefits that go with being part of the founders. So I remember getting that, trying to go through it at Inman, in and out of the conferences. And I got a copy of the ICA, so Independent Contractor Agreement. I remember reading it on the plane as we're heading back. The next day got all my team together via Zoom, went over everything, and was like, no, if somebody doesn't want to leave, we don't have to. What do you guys want to do? They all gave me the thumbs up. So within the week, we decided to transition over. It was actually really cool because it was a brand new brokerage. It also kind of sucked because it was a brand new brokerage, right? Because we didn't have the right people in the right seats quite yet. They're still kind of learning. There was a lot of people coming in at one time. They actually started, and I think they're still doing it. They got a wish list, a wait list, as it's actually called wait list. But you can get on a wait list in order to come in. It took a couple of weeks or longer to onboard you. But there was a lot of challenges to initially get that in. However, it was really nice because they gave us somebody that was specific to our team that helped everybody transition over, helped with our rebrand, everything else. It was pretty awesome. So all in all, the initial part, it wasn't much more difficult, I would say, than just standard switching brokerages if you've had to do that before. So their unique selling proposition, what is it that made us switch over? Well, it was being agent first. With EXP, and I'm not trying to downplay them, they're still a good company. I did not like having to go play like I'm in The Sims and get on a computer game to go talk to somebody. Honestly, I wish I could just pick up the phone or text somebody and get a response within a reasonable amount of time. And honestly, LPT had that. The other brokerage that we were with, it really, they were pushing this platform for what reason I couldn't tell you, and it was too much. So that was one of the big things. Plus there were some things that we saw at the other company that we didn't like they got too big too quick, whatever. I'm not gonna bad talk that other company. Still think that they're very good at what they do. But it was that, and plus I'm a recruiter as well as a team lead, as well as a agent myself, and I needed something. I like new agents. I like training them. I like getting them to be in the best that they possibly can. It's the reason I do what I do. The problem being is that they're still paying money out. And a lot of the times it can take 4 to 6 months before they see momentum. And when I saw a model like this that didn't charge them anything until they started making money, that was great. Not only that, I didn't have to compete with their split as much, because they can do a business builder track versus an 80-20 track, which means more money in their pocket, which means that I can do my split on my team end and they can still grow and they can still get enough money and they still feel satisfied. And it was great. One of the things that I learned later, which was even better since we kind of run our own ship here, is they leave you alone. They really do. And you can run your own team the way that you want to, providing that you stay within compliance, and that's basically what you're paying for anyway. So how has our team adjusted? Our team has adjusted very well. Matter of fact, being from a cloud-based brokerage going to another one was perfectly fine. But again, we were pretty self-sustained. Now, understanding their processes and doing the rebranding and everything else was actually pretty good. They gave us somebody to help all of our team members come on when we first came in, and learning different systems such as Dotloop. They give you Dotloop. They give us Chime, which is a website and CRM, although I think they're also going to give you the option for Follow Up Boss. They have listing power tools, which is awesome for your listings. One of the key things that why we decided to get in here, which I'll just say now was a great marketing thing that they were able to give. And you just give them 3 really high resolution pictures. They'll give you a rider to put on there on your yard hanging signs for your for sale signs. And they also will give you a ton of marketing materials. You can pay for mailers. You can mail them yourself. You can do whatever. They give you like door hangers. They give you all sorts of stuff branded to that house. Heck, even little business cards. Kind of interesting. But if you do open houses, you do things like that, there are just tons and tons of print marketing. And it's really cool to walk into any listing presentation. And if you're not sure if you're going to get it, to come in with this box of marketing and be like, who's doing this? No one's doing that. And you usually, especially for our newer agents, it's just another little extra thing that we can throw in there that helps guarantee the sale. But yes, our team has adjusted pretty well, especially as new personnel has adjusted throughout LPT. And now it's, especially here in Florida, has been really good. Other questions people ask is, how's the training? I can't tell you personally how the training has been because we're pretty self-sustained here on our team. Those that have been through some of the LPT training, it's been pretty good. Our other brokerage that we were with prior to really didn't have a lot of local training, really didn't teach contracts. And those are the things that agents want to know so they can feel confident if they have to write one, right? It wasn't good in that other brokerages. And I'm sure different states were different ways, but I was part of 2 states and they were both terrible. But this one at least has something. They do have a lead trainer in each state, to my understanding. There's a lot of online and on-demand training, and there's always live training going on. So the training has been pretty good if you are going to look into getting this as a single agent. But this is just me as a mentor and a coach speaking to you. If you are thinking about doing this and you are not accountable to yourself, or you don't have somebody to keep you accountable, I suggest looking at team options first before you decide to go jump in on your own. Okay, so when we got into this, another thing people are concerned about was the market adaptation to a brand new brokerage. We're in Northwest Florida, what we call the Emerald Coast of Florida, and we weren't known here. And a lot of people are like, well, it's not a known brand. I'm going to lose listings. I'm going to lose market share. Well, if you're already established in your market, you're not going to lose market share. You may go to a couple of different listing appointments that aren't from your SOI. And you're like, I've never heard of LPT. And I've heard that plenty of times. And they're like, yeah, it's a new brokerage. It's one of the fastest growing ones, insert whatever line in there. And then nobody really cared. Because as soon as we showed them what they offered and even what it stood for, they were like, oh my goodness, all right, let's go with you guys, even though you weren't the big box brand that's around the corner. But yeah, market adaptation has been good. And as we've gotten more and more people, the culture has spread, more of our signs, more agents are jumping on, they're seeing more signs in yards, and it's actually been pretty good. So as a growth of a no-name brokerage, it's actually taking on something better. And this company is also paying for billboards. Billboards for you and your team. They'll put them up there, and they're usually digital boards from what I've been seeing, and they'll throw those up there for your own marketing that you're not paying for, which is pretty awesome. The customer service and support has been phenomenal when we have come over here. Again, it's an agent first. I like the fact of being able to pick up a phone and call somebody and get somebody back in a reasonable amount of time. The growth and support that they've been able to give us, even getting a brick and mortar, since we do have one. We don't really use it that much, but we do have one to go meet clients and things like that. To get everything set, they've been really good with even some of the out-of-box things that they've been able to do. And I want to say one thing about this, because this had just happened prior to me recording this video. We were in Dallas for a coaching event that was out there, and LPT was out recruiting. And a couple of them that are up there with Robert Palmer, which is, the founder of the company, actually came over to say hello and invited us to a couple of events, which is crazy because I didn't think that they knew even who we were at all. But later on, during one of the events, when I met Robert, he actually knew who I was, some of my social media, which I was really taken aback for. Like, how do you know who I am? Like, aren't you busy looking at other stuff? But that just was an indication of how much that they really care that we're growing, especially as we grow teams and as we grow influence in the area carrying the brand. And it really made it feel like it's a really close-knit culture, and they're really paying attention to the people. It's not just a slogan. It's a real thing. So that really kind of hit me in the feels. And it's been pretty great from there. The company growth has been the fastest growing brokerage from the last statistics, the fastest growing brokerage I've seen, or that they've seen, not just as internet-based companies, but any real estate company since they've been recording it. I don't have the numbers necessarily right now for it, but that's what they've been saying. But it has been phenomenal with that. They can't even keep up. And they're only in, I think, 7 to 13. I know that's a big spread. Don't have it in front of me, but they're growing states, which means if you're looking into getting the Rev Share to be at the top of the Rev Share before the rest of the 43 states jump on, that's the wrong. Well, Yeah, if I said 7, 43 states jump on here, that's going to be phenomenal for you for that rev share moving forward. So if that's something that you want to get into, yeah, now's the time to jump in on that. Start getting in the wait list. Even if your state's not open yet, it's coming. So get yourself right up there. Now, a lot of the tech and innovation that they've been keeping up with has been pretty good. They partnered with homevalues.com to give those agents in the specific area seller leads. I don't know too much about that because it's not really in our area yet, but I know that's a big thing that they're promoting. They're putting billboards up with all the agents in the certain places. They do that. Well, it hasn't been consistent yet in our area, but we've seen them, usually a digital board. But technology, they are giving you Chime, and they're partnering with other technology firms like Follow Up Boss, which is what we use, but we also use Chime, to give you the best tools in order to help yourself and to help your team if you're a team lead. They also have .loop to help you with your transactions. They've got listing power tools. They've got a ton of different stuff to really help and build and keep going with technology. They've implemented AI, it's called Desi AI, to help you with your transactions, to keep you up to date, to make sure that you're in compliance. So especially in 2023, when AI is just moving, this is that time that we need to be innovative. We can't stand still. We can't put our feet in the mud and not move because you're just going to get run over. I don't know if that analogy works, but yeah, it's we need to continue to do that, especially as team leads, as an agents. If we're not doing this now, we're not adopting, we're going to get left behind. This company understands that and is pushing forward with AI augmentation. But looking ahead, from everything I've seen them, they are viciously recruiting and getting into different states and growing their brand. And I've seen no stop to them from our indication. Now, one thing that's been great as a team lead here is they really kind of leave you alone and let you grow your own business, but they're there when you need them. Phenomenal for somebody like me who runs my own ship here and just wants these agents to grow and give them the best possibility. They'll continue to innovate. They continue to get better things. I continue seeing those. It doesn't look like they're really just going for home run swings here. They are just doing little things correct and just continuing to build and build and build. I think this company is going to be around for a long time, which is why I think their tagline is agency for life. Perfect. If you are getting into this to become a real estate agent and get the most out of it, this is the right place. If you are coming in just for the rev share, this is not the correct place for you to go. Just saying, that's where they're leaning. That's where they're going to concentrate. If you're here to do real estate, this is the place for you. If you're looking to run a real estate team, this is the place for you. So that's what I have for for lessons learned for year 1 here at LPT Realty. So if you got any questions about anything I mentioned here or want to share your stories, I'd love to hear them. So please leave them in the comments here below, and I'd love to hear from you. If you are on the fence and you just need an ear to talk to, whether you're a team lead, brand new agent, experienced agent, and you just want a perspective, I worked at many brokerages before. I'm happy to give you my insights on what could be best from you. It's not always this brokerage. And if you're lucky enough to be up here on the Emerald Coast and you're looking to join the team, hey, give us a call. Give us a call. I'd love to interview you guys. So you can find me on social media. That's what most people do. You can call, you can text me. Please text me. I still am an agent. I'm busy all the time. Or you can shoot us an email. Whatever you got to do, I'd be happy to spend some time and help you out in the next stage of your career. But again, my name's Tim Whittemore. I'm with the Whittemore Group here with LPT Realty. We'll see you in our next video. Take care. So you're a real estate agent and you want to get networking down. And you're wondering, what are some tips and tricks in order to make my networking game on top? Well, in this video, we're going to go over exactly that. So stick around.